Imagine waking up tomorrow and civilization is gone. No cities, no nations, no written history, just you, the wild, and the constant nagging threat of death. This isn't science fiction. This was our reality for 200,000 years, and it could have been our reality forever. Because 12,000 years ago, humanity stood at a crossroads. One path led to everything you know: this screen, your home, your life. The other path led to an endless cycle of survival and extinction. We chose agriculture, but what if we hadn't? What if we had remained hunters? The answer will disturb you more than you think. Let's go back before the first seed was planted, before the first wall was built. In this world, humans are rare. Maybe 5 million of us, scattered across the entire planet. We don't settle down. We can't, because settlement means death. Every 72 hours, the food runs out, so we move. Always moving, following herds we can't control, gathering plants we didn't grow. But here's what archaeologists discovered that changes everything. These people weren't primitive. They were survivors of something we can barely comprehend. They had tried to settle before, and it destroyed them. Archaeological sites across 3 continents tell the same horrifying story. Pre-agricultural settlements, all abandoned, all showing signs of catastrophic collapse. At Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, humans gathered for generations. They built monuments that would make modern architects weep. Then, suddenly, everyone vanished. The reason? It's written in their bones. When humans settled without agriculture, population density increased, disease followed, conflict erupted over limited wild resources, and when the herds migrated, famine set in. Those who survived learned a terrible lesson. Staying in one place is a death sentence. So in our alternate timeline, this knowledge becomes sacred. It's cultural, it's universal. Settlement is taboo. Agriculture is never even considered, and humanity remains scattered. By the year 2024 in our timeline, what would this world look like? The human population never explodes. It stabilizes at maybe 30 million people, total, worldwide. You live in a band of 40 people. These are the only humans you will ever truly know. Your language has maybe 800 words. You have no concept of strangers because you rarely meet anyone outside your extended family. But the shocking part, you might actually be happier. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherers discovered something unsettling. They work only 3 to 5 hours a day. The rest of their time is leisure, storytelling, art, community. You have no chronic diseases, no obesity, no diabetes. Your skeleton is stronger than any modern human's. You'll likely die around age 45, but from an injury or an infection, not from the slow decay of civilization. You also have no books, no philosophy, no accumulated knowledge beyond what your elders remember. When they die, entire universes of understanding disappear forever. Here's where it gets disturbing in this timeline. Human intelligence doesn't decrease. We're still curious, still creative, still brilliant. But brilliance without accumulation is like a flash of lightning without thunder. It appears and then it's gone, disappearing into the dark. Someone, somewhere invents the wheel, but it's useless for a nomadic lifestyle. So within 2 generations, it's forgotten. Someone discovers that certain plants grow from seeds, but why bother? Cultivating them when moving is safer. That knowledge dies with them. Innovation requires something we've never achieved: permanence. And here's the truly terrifying thought. This might be the fate of most intelligent species in the universe. Scattered, nomadic, forever on the edge of discovery but never crossing over. Not because they're stupid, but because the conditions for civilization just never align. We got lucky. 12,000 years ago, the climate stabilized. Megafauna were abundant, and a few brave, or perhaps desperate, souls made a decision that changed everything. Let's make this personal. You, watching this right now, in the hunter-gatherer timeline, you don't exist. The specific, miraculous sequence of relationships that led to your birth required cities, trade routes, and chance meetings between families separated by continents. None of that happens without agriculture. Your ancestors exist, but they never meet. You are a ghost in an untold story. Everything you love, art, music, literature, science, exists only in fleeting moments. A song sung once around a fire, never recorded. A theory about the stars, shared with a child who forgets it. There are no Einsteins because there's no framework for an Einstein to exist within. There are no Mozarts because symphonies require audiences larger than exist in any single place on the planet. There are no Shakespeares because writing was never invented. You don't even have a name as we understand it. You're the fast runner or the one with the scar. When you die, you become the grandmother who knew the healing plans, and then nothing. No tombstone, no legacy, no immortality through memory. So let's return to that crossroads 12,000 years ago. Agriculture wasn't inevitable. It was desperate, reckless even. Our ancestors gambled everything on a radical idea. Stop running. Stay, force the earth to provide. It nearly killed us. Early farmers were sicker than their hunter-gatherer cousins. Shorter, weaker, they suffered from malnutrition, plagues, and brutal hierarchies that never existed in nomadic bands. For 3,000 years, it must have seemed like the worst decision in human history, but they persisted, and slowly, across generations of suffering, something emerged that had never existed before. Surplus, extra. Food, extra time, extra people who could do something other than just hunt and gather. And from that surplus came everything. Cities, writing, mathematics, medicine, space travel, this video, you. But here's the final, unsettling question. Were we right? We've built civilizations, cured diseases, split the atom, but we've also created weapons that can end all life, polluted the only planet we have, constructed systems that leave billions in poverty while others live like emperors. We've created immortality through art and legacy, but we often die alone in ways our ancestors never did. The hunter-gatherers lived in the eternal present. No anxiety about the future, no regret about the past. Just existence, moment by moment, sunrise by sunrise. We live in the eternal absence, always chasing what's next, never satisfied. Building monuments to ourselves because we're terrified of being forgotten. Maybe the greatest mystery isn't what would have happened if we'd never discovered agriculture. Maybe it's why we felt we needed to discover it at all. In another timeline, humans are still gathering around fires tonight. They tell the same stories their ancestors told. They know everyone they'll ever love. They'll never build a monument. But they'll never need one. We chose a different path. We chose permanence over presence, complexity over simplicity, immortality over peace, and we can never go back. The question is, do we want to? This is the story we almost never told, the civilization that almost never was, and the choice that made you possible. What will you do with it? Thanks for watching.